made the better pick last night? Was it Washington or New York?
Well, it was definitely Washington, for sure.
Yeah.
And when I'm listening to Gettleman talk about comparing Brett Favre to an Aaron Rodgers situation, how, he would like him to sit for 3 years, I don't know if that's the best thing for the football team right now, because even when last year they had a chance to go draft a quarterback, they took Saquon Barkley, and Saquon had a great year, and I'm a huge fan of Saquon Barkley. There's still a reason they had the 6th pick, right? There's still a reason that there was about 26 other teams in the NFL that were better than them, because you need a good quarterback. And I love Eli, but I think we can all agree on this. His best days are behind him. He's not getting any better, right? And so when you have a guy like Dwayne Haskins who's sitting there, and I don't know if it can be any more obvious, this guy had 50 touchdowns, only 8 interceptions, 70% completion percentage. He played at a big-time university. I think the pressure is even more now on Daniel Jones and Gettleman to get this right, because now Haskins is in your division, and you got to see him twice a year. So we're going to find out real quick who made the better decision.
And it's all, Skip, what are we going to get? It's Dak and Carson Wentz. They're in the same draft, even though they went, first round pick to 4th round pick. These guys are 1st round pick, 6th and 15th. For me, look, it comes down to this. Both teams needed a quarterback. The Giants had this kid rated very, very high. It's hard for me to believe, Skip, that if they felt they could get this guy at a later pick, they wouldn't do that. I believe he was rated so much higher than Haskins, Will Greer, Matt Mock, and I forget the other guy. But I believe he was rated so much higher than them, it forced their hands. Even though Gettleman says, you don't draft for need, Skip, or, you end up making a mistake.
You get screwed.
Okay, clearly, they felt they needed a quarterback because they took one with the 6th pick in the draft. I like Washington because guess what? They needed a quarterback, and they didn't have to move anywhere. They got the 2nd-rated quarterback on most everybody's mock, and they got him in the middle of the 1st round. You can't argue with that. I like the situation that he's going to, Skip, because I believe the West Coast is very similar to what he ran at Ohio State. Let me put the ball in playmakers' hands, get it out my hands quick. I will let them do the heavy lifting. So I believe he's better situated. Daniel Jones going to New York, and they can't sit him. You can't sit the 6th pick in the draft for 3 years.
You got to play.
For 3.
Aaron Rodgers is what, 22,
24,
so
something
at least you could say
it's different.
He fell all the way. He was the guy left in the green room, right?
Behind Brett Favre,
Brett Favre, thank you.
All right.
It's a little different.
By the way, quick point of order. Do you see any of yourself in Saquon? Any?
I see a little bit, I definitely see a little bit of myself in Saquon, but obviously I think Saquon was more of a natural runner earlier in his career. It took me about 2-3 years to adjust to the speed and the difference.
Really?
To become a more natural inside runner. I love to get outside,
hit the edge.
people in space, shake them, break them down in space. Saquon is naturally just running through tackles or breaking tackles. I kind of had to learn that in the NFL.
But he'll look a bigger man than you would have.
He's
like 235.
Exactly. He's a little bit bigger.
Not faster.
Not faster. No.
Okay.
No, I ain't say faster. I ain't going that far.
Back to the business at hand. Just because quarterback is by far, obviously, the most important position on the football field, and because the Giants were so desperate at quarterback, I have now decided this is the biggest reach and risk in the history of the as high reach for somebody who wasn't even on the radar for reaching for. And it's a quarterback. We've seen reaches for, D-line, offensive line. Some guy comes out of nowhere. What are you doing? What are you thinking? But you can get away with that. You can't get away with this. And to your point, it was Saquon or Sam Darnold last year. And I'm not the biggest Sam Darnold guy. He came from your school, obviously. But he will be far better than Daniel Jones will ever hope to be in New York. And now he's got to, the guy he's going to be competing with is Sam Darnold.
He better not be because they're in the same city.
That's what I'm saying. I feel for this kid because he didn't pick himself.
No.
There's no way he has the ability, the capacity to live up to the expectations that got created last night because Giants Nation went crazy.
They lost it.
We got our guy. No, you don't. Got your guy.
They got a guy.
They got a guy.
Have you ever felt bad for a player, honestly, in the history of covering this thing? You truly felt bad for him. I mean, what does that say? that's
terrible.
crazy.
And it's a terrible place to be thrust into.
And when Urban Meyer talked about Dwayne Haskins, he talked about his football IQ at the offensive line, putting his team in positions to succeed, being able to change the protections so that he didn't get hit a whole lot in college.
Did not.
And Urban Meyer gave him a ton of credit for that. That's what you want out of a rookie quarterback, because a lot of rookie quarterbacks struggle with that exact thing, the football IQ side of it, because the game is faster. Defensive coordinators are a lot smarter, and they're going to continue to test your football IQ with blitzes and coverages and disguising
Everything
blitzes,
is disguised.
everything.
There ain't nobody in college, they'll just line up in it because you don't have the time to meet. These guys here, they're disguising everything. You think it's one thing and they're trapping you on the backside.
Wow.
I'm just not convinced about Dwayne Haskins. It scares me a little bit that he was a little bit of a product of Urban's protection scheme and track team of receivers, because all three of those kids ran fast at the combine.
I would agree 100% with that.
So I'm not sold, but I give him a much better shot than I give Daniel Jones. I'm going to say this one more time. I watched Daniel Jones just on TV 4 or 5 times. Not once did it ever enter my head that he was remotely a high pick. I just thought, I don't know, I don't think I ever thought of him being drafted. Maybe a 5th or 6th round backup quarterback, maybe, just because he's a David Cutcliffe product.
He's a first-round backup quarterback now.
Okay, there you go. So, again, Todd McShay had him ranked 59th on his board, and I thought that was kind of high, to tell you the truth. And so that's like 2nd, 3rd round. Okay.
That's late 2nd round.
Okay.
That's late 2nd. That's not bad.
That's not 6th overall.
Yeah.
So for those who don't remember, David Cutcliffe was Peyton Manning's offensive coordinator at Tennessee and head coach for Eli at Ole Miss. Okay, so he is the quarterback maker in college, but it's not Daniel Manning that you drafted. You got to have some bloodlines to be that guy. And so is David Cutcliffe going to coach the kid? No.
He's not.
And so I'm going to say this again. Pat Shurmur is the head coach of the Giants. He has a son named Kyle Shurmur, who was my quarterback at my school, Vanderbilt, for the last 3 years. Kyle Shurmur's pretty good. He'll get drafted in the 6th or 7th round today. They're about the same size, he and Daniel Jones. Stats, little better last year for my guy, Kyle Shurmur. Not he's my guy, he's at my school, because I don't love him, but I will bet you that if you look at stats and look at QBR, he had a little better year last year than Daniel Jones had. I'll bet you if you put his father, the head coach of the Giants, on a lie detector today, right now, he'd tell you his son will be a little better pro than Daniel Jones. But this wasn't Pat Shurmur's idea. This was Dave Gettleman.
Skip, a lot of times when they, especially quarterbacks, when they evaluate a quarterback, they'll say, if he had better talent around him, because they're looking at Duke's roster. They're looking at the wide receivers, the tight end, the running back. And they said if they had better talent around him, this kid could be really, really special. So Dave Gettleman says, well, I'm going to surround him with better talent, and maybe we'll see. Skip, I only saw him one time. And it just so happens I turned the TV on, and when the TV comes on, it had sound. And they're talking about this guy might be the first pick, the first quarterback, first pick taken. And I was like, well, let me watch. You're cutting sound. Let me watch. I said, him?
They said that then?
Yes.
I don't think anybody's saying that. I don't know who those
they
guys
said this guy's going to be a first-round pick. He could be the first.
They knew something you didn't.
Maybe.
Maybe everyone does.
So if I'm a quarterback, I'm going to David Cutcliffe, because he can get me drafted in the first round, probably the 6th pick overall.
He's the quarterback guru
Everyone's
now.
going to
So
him.
what did Gettleman say? That he was sold at the Senior Bowl.
Senior
Did you
Bowl.
play in any of those
I
games?
didn't play in the Senior Bowl, no.
Yeah, okay.
No.
No, okay. So Senior Bowl, a lot of good kids there,
Yes.
a lot of talent, but usually the quarterbacks go in order, the pecking order of how they're viewed by their pro coaching staffs.
Yes.
So the starters in that game were Drew Lock and Will Greer. I love Will Greer. I think he's the second best quarterback in this draft, but that's just me. So those two guys started and played the whole first half. Daniel Jones started the second half. So you're going against the second best players on the other team, right? And he put up good numbers. He had 8 out of 11 for 115 yards, and he was voted Senior Bowl MVP from his second half performance. And Dave Gettleman said, I saw a pro. Is that what he said?
Yeah, he said I saw a pro quarterback. I saw him walk out there.
Okay. Really?
Let's give a lot of times
Really?
these guys,
One game.
A lot of these guys have already have evaluation, so they already have a grade. Now the grade can move up or down according to the Senior Bowl practices and what you do at the combine and then all that other stuff. So a lot of these guys, when they start, they're the higher graded players.
Exactly.
That's why they're starting.
Exactly.
So for me, so Skip, like I said, they needed a quarterback. And they had a value, they had a grade on him, Skip. Look, you got $1, what you gonna pay for a car? You might be overpriced, You know it might be overpriced.
But you can't do that.
I know,
If he's not that guy, you just can't spend the 6th pick because now you've invested the next 4 or 5 years.
Oh, yeah. You stuck with him for 3 years.
There's a potential bust here where you keep waiting and waiting and hoping and trying, and you finally say, he's just not that guy.
Yeah.
Well, now you've wasted post-Eli, because I think they do want Eli to play for at least 1 more year, right?
Yeah, they do.
You know why? Because he beat Tom Brady twice in Super Bowls, and Tom Brady's still going in Foxborough, so they say, why can't our guy still go, right?
But everybody thinks that. Everybody, well, Tom's doing it, why can't I? Because you can't.
Because you ain't Tom.
Exactly.
Right?
I see people living to be 115. Why can't I live to be 115? It's just not in the makeup. Everybody can't play till they 42. Nope. And besides, they got the rules set up for him. They ain't gonna let you hit him.
And I don't think the Redskins, you know, I was listening to some of the conversation come out of Washington. I don't even think they wanted to draft a quarterback. They just felt like they had to because he was there. He was the best option.
It sounded like the owner got involved. And the owner wanted marquee. He wanted a personality he could sell. And the kid has good charisma. He's fun to be around. Now he's got a new chip on his shoulder. What did he say about the league?
League done messed up.
Done messed up, okay? And again,
that's going to help him.
Okay, that's good. I like that. But can he live up? Can he be that guy? Can he be better than Alex Smith? I'm knocking on wood for Alex Smith to come back because Alex Smith is pretty good.
I don't think he's coming back, Skip. That was a gruesome injury. It happened on the same day in the same location as Joe Theismann had his injury.
That's true.
And Joe never played another game. Me, I didn't play with a chip on my shoulder because all I found it weighed me down. I need to be light.
But you always had something to prove.
No. I didn't try to prove them wrong. I need to prove me right.
No?
I thought I was good enough. See, they devalued me because I went to Savannah State. Well, who were your coaches and all that? I said, okay, fine, that's fine.
You ran 4.8.
No, I didn't. Hey, but you know what? You know what I did, though? All I did was do the right here. I ain't going to, old 7th round Hall of Famer.
Really?
They ain't very many of us.
7th round. There are not many.
Ain't many of us in this building.
You got to drink the cup.
Yeah,
you got to leave the finger out there when you drink.
I feel pretty good. You know, Emmett was a first rounder. He's in the Hall.
Yeah.
Me. Junior. Me. Cortez, first rounder. Me.
Yeah.
You know, we got to look. Johnny Randall was an undrafted free agent.
He was. That's
My year. We got a nice little club. We got 5 of us in there.
You guys are doing just fine.
We doing all
right. You're doing all right, Sharp.
And I'm going to the television Hall of Fame for busting you up for the next decade.
Boy, that's delusional.
Now, I'm going to this time to the first ballot.
Skip is in the gym now. I see him in the gym. He in there working on his bicep. I seen him in his bicep curls in there.
You know what? I'm going to get Bill Star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame for busting you up.
Really?
Yeah, I'm about to be the Kodak man, the man standing out there front.
You're going after a star now.
Yep. For busting Skip up.
You're nothing but a 7th round. On this show, you're a 7th round pick.
My name is gonna be that's gonna be my little moniker. Like they got I think Johnny Carson got a little microphone up under here. Mike gonna have Bus Skip. Yep, that we're gonna have.
You gotta add the 7th round too.
I gotta say, you always crack me up. I'll give you that.
That is true. We can't let you wear that thing around here anymore. A lot of confidence from this side of the table.
Yeah, I'm feeling good.
Hey, your brother would have been in the Hall of Fame. He had got hurt, so there's no need to have a chip on your shoulder.
What you mean? What I got to do with me?
Brother, you got somebody who was already a star.
But they said Denver said, well, can Sterling Sharp catch passes for the Broncos, or he's only gonna catch passes for Green Bay? Because if you can't help us, we're gonna get you up out of here.
Sterling can do it. Shannon can do it.
I mean, well, you're right, Skip. I mean, they looked at that. They're like, dang. I mean, it can't be all bad.
I mean, you didn't come out of nowhere.
No, I was somewhere. I was